Well, tonight we return to the book of Joel. We're looking at Joel chapter 2, verses 18 through 27. Again, it's one of these short prophets in the Old Testament towards the end of the book. And as we come there, we're reminded the first half of Joel was all about doom and destruction. If you look at the first chapter, you look particularly at the locust plague that came upon the nation of Judah. We don't know the time or the circumstances of this particular book, unlike most of the ones in the Old Testament. But we do know that Joel, we think, was part of the people of Judah, and apparently he may have had some connection with the cultic practices of the temple and the Levites and the priests. And he told them through this locust plague, of course, to be aware of how terrible a plague it was, and that this was an opportunity to repent of their sins, or worse things would come. So the first part was all about doom and destruction. But last week, as we looked at verse 12 through 17, we saw that there was a turning point in this book. It was a turning point showing the grace and compassion of God, calling people to turn. In fact, if we look at verse 13, it says, "Return to the Lord your God, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love." You see, the gospel, though never ignoring sin and judgment, is always good news for the people of God who turn to him in faith. And we continue that good news with verses 18 through 27. Follow along as I read. "Then the Lord became jealous for his land and had pity on his people. The Lord answered and said to his people, 'Behold,